Oh, you're cooked. Oh, yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Suck love. And welcome back, race fans, to Spa Round 8 of your Lizard Lounge League race. I'm here down to Walters here. A bit of a rainy start, but it will be drying up towards the end. We'll pull up here. Your tires. Right now, your pole that are currently on your provisional pole right now is Frozen, followed by Chicken George. And, yep. You can feel the car signed in here to that. 19 total. T. George from your Creator Series. Hope he crashes into turn 1. No offense, but no offense. Sorry about it. Anyway. But yeah. You're back. Frozen now goes into the pits. Soon to put on some new tires. You're right along with Chicken, I believe you're the leader in the league race. In the league. For now, or at least he's in the battle. Or he lost it, either or, I can't remember. But, yeah. Anyway. You're on with Chicken now, you're on the pole position, still on intermediate tires. Very interesting indeed. George, not Chicken is pretty fast around a lot of tracks. I'd be surprised if he sticks it on the pole, although him and Frozen have been fighting out in the past. Is it laggy or is that just me? Yeah. Yellow sector invalidation for Chicken. Dom dozing off over here. Anyway. Everybody seems to be on the soft tires now. Only a few left on the intermediates. Chicken now coming out of the final chicane into the pits. For a brand new tire by the looks of it. Go ready tires from session and DRS is now officially been enabled, which will be huge for these drivers. Now if we go to our standings, which is one. Our standings, your current leader in the drivers championship is Frozen. Chicken and Frozen, the top 3, with a pretty small gap. Constructors right now, Red Bull still in the lead with 261 points. Frozen, right along with Frozen now on soft tires, coming down the back stretch into the final chicane. Will lead him after Austin. Frozen did. This is post Austin, not no Silverstone yet. mean, sorry, this is after. Oh, this is after Australia, I mean. Hold on, I'm so confused. I don't know. Anyway, now Frozen. Sorry, yeah, Frozen now on a lap now with the new soft tires up Eau Rouge through Radion. Invalidation? Invalidation runs wide. After Belgium. So after Austria, which we were not here for, sadly. After Austria, Frozen took the lead. So after Spa, we have Las Vegas in your final race. At least your finale will be in Brazil. Pretty good fast track. Coming down to less than 3 minutes, or 2.5 minutes of qualifying left. That's where all matters. Now, Bebe. Too bad his name is Bubba now, so I'm calling him. Anyway, Bubba shoots to the top of the standings to the 147.6. Now Frozen comes out of the final turn, burning the battery down the front stretch now into turn 1. Down he goes. Spots an absolute fast track now coming to Radiant and Eau Rouge. Down the Radiant up through Eau Rouge. Now down the Camel stretch he will go. Now into the turns. Careful not to run too wide, as Frozen is one of the fastest guys out here. Goes out in turns 12 and 13. Validation. Sorry, I was not good. Will Frozen be able to get another lap out before qualifying is over? Awesome baby. He falls down to P6 now. Right along with Chicken on his outlap. Coming out of turns 18 and 19 now. Down the main stretch, burning just a bit of battery. Sent his battery mode to hot lap. We could see him burning using the overtake down the camel stretch to get a bit more battery. Now out of turn 1 they go. Now they will go down into turns 2, 3, and 4. Radiant up through Eau Rouge. Not making sure not to run too wide to get invalidated. Now down the camel stretch they will go into turns 5, 6, and 7. Careful not to go too wide here. Absolutely amazing stuff. Kelman now on pole position with provisional pole to 124 with a 147.601. Down he will go into turn 9. Through there, not making sure not to run wide, but not to run too to keep maximum momentum. SRS now sticks it on a provisional pole with a 146.8. Chicken still on a good lap. Has not invalidated yet. Through he goes in 12 and 13. Now coming into turns 14, 15. Now throughout here you can take pretty much flat as long as you get your lines right. Now your new King Meeks with a 145.2. 2. Currently your pole sitter running with Chicken. This could be a big upset from him. One of the faster guys out here. Out in the final turns, they will come. Final turn, and T George, now Chicken sticks it on the pole with a 143.2. T George went second fastest now. Right along with Frozen, which went P2 now, pushing T George down to third. Pretty much everybody crossing the line now. Knight NT currently 15th right now. Can he improve? No, he cannot. Invalidation. He was to P15 for this race. Amazing stuff from all of these drivers so far. Hoping to see a lot more come from this. Alrighty, your top 3. Chicken, Frozen, and George. Look at all these for you. We will go through it on our race start curve. Herb starting in the back because he's in his words, does not want to deal with the carnage. His words, not mine. Five-minute break we will have before the start, so we'll also be right back. And we are back. Come to our race director, rainy race. Everybody looks like me starting on intermediates, no wet runner tires. Spot is definitely a bit difficult, definitely harder in the wets, but it's kind of a no. It can rain here. Not people aren't very happy with the rain, but it is what it is. Chicken, Frozen, and T George. Mind you, T George is a Creator Series reserve driver. He's not fast enough to be an actual full-time driver. No, but yeah, some other fast drivers I think we can see out of here. Meeks. I heard Curbs, like he said, he wanted to start in the back. He must avoid all the carnage into turn 1, which if it's raining, I understand. Kelman went down from P1 to P10, which sucks for him. He was on pole at one point. Same with SRS. Herbs actually reserve driver for the season. Way back when, true, like season 1, was a full-time driver for Red Bull. And Chicken now. We have Chicken and where's the other Frozen? He might not be here. I'm not tweaking. Oh, I'm like blind. We only have one Williams driver. So only one frozen, which would be very nice. Want to tell the difference between frozen and frozone. Get them mixed up all the time. Too similar, sadly. Definitely could see some different strategies when people box. If it does, we'll eventually be clearing up. I think you could underfield here, but at the same time you don't know if there's gonna be a safety car. This spot is turn one. It's like almost a 180-degree turn in a turn one. Almost, but someone probably will go. Somebody probably will leg break, and there could be damage. At the same time, it could see Ray make it through clean because of the rain. Otherwise, well, pretty much smooth sailing, I believe. 2 minutes. 2 minutes now. 2 minutes remain. I do believe formation lap is off. Some other big guys to look out for. Kelman. I don't know if he's back on controller, if he is on his wheel. But if he is on his controller, he's a master on controller, I would say. Definitely could fight for podium, top 5. Depends how everyone else does. Depending on who breaks when, who does what. You should keep an eye on George. But knowing him, he's a clip farmer. That's what he is. The Twitch life has turned him. But yeah, Meeks, the top 5. He did pretty good in Australia, I believe. Pretty good in Australia last time, and we are starting 5 red lights, no formation lap, 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go here at Spa. Into turn 1 we will go. We're keeping it clean and green throughout the back. Looks like a few people running wide. We'll move up to your front runners now. Chicken still your leader, had a pretty good start, followed by T. George, followed by Frozen and T. George. Herb's up 5 spots now. It's Valley in the back, side by side, Frozen down the inside of Chicken. Frozen then move up to P1. Chicken down to P2. T. George in the back, waiting for his opportunity. Chicken now makes a move down. From down under, he goes into the lead, finding the hole and sticking with it all the way to the line. Now they go into Puan, also known as turn 10 and 11. Chicken stays ahead of Frozen. Frozen just a little loosey-goosey. Chicken runs a bit wide through there. I will give Frozen a chance. Frozen stays behind Chicken. Stay with that slipstream, but you also want to be careful of the dirty air. Give off from the car ahead. T. George in the back, just waiting for his opportunity to pounce. Pretty much single file for your top 5. Who's D up 3 spots? Same with Kelman. I believe he's on controller. Master in the West, as I said. Now we're coming into your final turns, 18 and 19. Chicken still in the lead. Frozen maybe looks on the inside. Nope. Stays right behind Chicken. T. George almost on the back end of Frozen. There's still a gap. That's with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Chicken now with the fastest lap of the 158.959 on intermediate tires. Your top 3 pretty much single file throughout. Closest battle is Bert in the back. Everybody side by side, fighting per positions. I believe Scoozy, Knight, and some other guys. Pretty good battle from the top 10 and down. Herb still 18th. I don't know if the call was to start in the back was a good idea. For the back side by side. That was too much to look at. Bubba fighting out for P9, goes on the outside of Y. Down the inside now, can we see Chris looking to make a move on Y? By the looks of it, no, he was sliding behind. Ooh, Y, Chris has a broken side plate by the looks of it. That will affect his performance in the back. We have the two Alpine and Aston Martin fighting out for 12th and 13th. Chris moves up a spot, gets past Y. These two are side by side. NY and Knight trying to look down the inside. Nope, nothing there. Sliding right behind on the rear end of that Alpine of John. These two are absolutely fighting out for that P12. Mind you, this is regular point standings. No points all the way down to last place. Nando sadly down into P19. John runs pretty wide. Frozen now with a 155.4, your fastest lap. A little bit of contact between John and Knight. Here's some possible strategy. You can do inters all the way because it is a racing race. You're not required to pit at all. But at least the two Alpines get past Knight. That's Squeezy and John. Get past him. No. We have a look of Golray possibly looking to get past the V-carb of N-Guy. Up through Rouge and a Radiant, they will go. Bringing a bit of battery, stay within that slipstream. It seems Trek is right. I do believe you're getting battery faster here. Frozen moves up to P1 now. Gets past Chicken. Chicken 0.3 behind. Pretty much single file now in the back here. Kelman on the move by the looks of it. Chris, I believe, gets past Kelman now, but Kelman won't let that slide. Chris gets a little loose through there. Kelman still applying that pressure. Kelman 100. Runs a bit wide, gets a little loose. He saves it. Holds on to it. That rear end is very slippery. It looks like Norbrecht gets past Y. Those two are side by side. Y stays ahead of Norbrecht. Kelman still a little loose up there. Looks like Knight and team's able to get past John. Now he's set his eyes on Squeezy. Frozen still your leader with a 0.1 gap on Chicken, but that seems to be closing really fast in the final turns. Those two will go. With George with a 4-second gap to Chicken. As normal, Frozen with what sets the new final lap a 155.2. Y still keeps Morbach behind and tries to set his eyes on Kelman. Chris has pulled a bit of a gap on Kelman now. Y is hugging that inside to hold the fence. Here comes Morbach down the inside. Morbach gets the pass done now on the L in turn 1. He will hold on to it, gets it clean and green. He will stay. Morbach now sets his eyes on Kelman. Kelman currently running P9 up through Radiant and Rouge. They will go. This is a pretty good battle throughout the back here. Morbach now sets his eyes on Kelman 100. Kelman 100 gets passed by Morbach. He will move up to P9 now. Looks like Y running a bit wide back there. Looks like Knight and T on the bumper of Squeezy. Squeezy trying everything he can to hold on that place. Runs a little wide, opens the door for Knight and T. Knight and T maybe looks down the inside, says nope. Dips down. Knight and T still on the inside. Knight and T, those two are side by side. Squeezy, Knight and T. Who's going to be a whole bit of contact? They'll say clean and green. We'll keep on the track. Squeezy plays Knight and T under wide just a little bit. These two are still side by side. Squeezy, Knight and T, absolute mad contact. I think Squeezy took off Knight and T's end plate now. Is not what he wanted to see. Now John maybe looks down the inside of Knight and T. Knight and T holds on to it now. Now he has a damaged wing. Not what he wanted at all. Those two are banging and scratching and fighting. Flaws and all. Now we have a V-carb. It looks a bit of V-carb and guy side by side with John now, and through the goalie Ray was able to get through that bit of bumping and bashing. Herb still in the back. We're right along with goalie Ray. Ooh, John absolutely applying the pressure. Almost cuts goalie Ray off. John runs wide up through here. We go into last final turns. Really on the brakes for John. Let's see where we at now. Your two leaders find out with a 1/10 gap. Everything is pretty much settled itself out. Oh, we have a V-carb spun. We have Night End guy who was spun out of turn 1. Looks like no damage will stay clean and green. No safety car will be deployed. That will suck for his race now. Puts him almost 8 seconds back from Nando's. We'll go to your leaders now. Fighting out for that P1. These are your two fastest guys on track right now, by the looks of it. T-George only 6 seconds behind, absolutely being pulled by these guys. These guys should be in Creative Series, not him. Anyway, Chicken and Frozen absolutely battling that out here. Frozen still ahead of Chicken. Chicken trying to find everything he can. Nothing very low, loose for him through here. And the slipstream burns a bit of battery. Right along here with them, down the side by side. Chicken now ahead of Frozen. They'll go into turns 18 and 19 now. Your final 2 turns. Chicken makes a move. Will Frozen look down the inside? No, he won't. Stay right behind. You see side by side action. Single file. There you go. Your current leader right now is Chicken. Now second fast lap on 154.4. Into turns 1 they'll go. There's starting to be a bit of a dry line. Definitely still too wet for slick tires. Chicken now will do his best to pull away now. Your back runners still side by side. Trying it out in the back. Knight and T was able, that moves up to P10. Kelman 100 is now down to P19. Must have spun out, he's in the pits now. Assuming he had a damaged wing. In the pits, Kelman 100 will go. Oh yeah. Puts on a new front wing. Must have spun out or got some major wing damage. That's not what he wants to see. That'll put him P19. The pretty big gap. We'll see how big this gap is. Be pretty close to getting lapped almost, by the looks of it. Coming 100 leaves the pit with a over a 30-second gap to End guy, which is not good for him. Back with your 2 leaders now, pretty much with a 3/10 gap. Frozen in the slipstream though. No DRS, it is still too wet. It is all battery and all skills up through here. Frozen now looks down the inside of Chicken, says no. Oh, Frozen! Frozen over brakes himself and ends up in the wall. Safety car is deployed. That's good for him. But looks like George will get a move on him. George moves up to P3 now. I mean P2. Now what Frozen wants to see, by looks of it, he tried going to the inside and tried to tuck in right behind Chicken. And just no traction. Just stepped out of him. Not what he wants to see at all. Now that will close. That would be good for Kelman now. With you just put on new tires and a new front wing. Your leaders now, you're pretty much third and down, all coming in for stops. Their new intermediate tires, or possibly we could see some turns coming in for new tires now, unless they have wing damage. We'll be right back, folks. This will diminish Frozen and Chicken's I believe almost 6 second gap between these two, between Chicken and George. But I do believe Chicken is faster than George, and Chicken won't be able to pull away. George won't be able to keep up. What we've seen so far. Hate to say George, but it's true. You're slow compared to Chicken. Yeah. Morbeck moves up to P3 now on the podium. Kelman now with a 9 second gap to N guy. Frozen came out. Frozen's currently P5. I don't know if Frozen will be able to. Frozen definitely might be able to get back up to the podium, but P1 and P2 would definitely be a challenge for him, considering the track conditions and everyone else's overall pace. But I believe in him, and he'll probably be able to get past quite a few of these guys. And I say down the camel stretch. George just trying to cool down his tires by the looks of it. Almost side by side. Can't be doing that. Goes into AI actually. Very interesting, George. Very naughty. Here's ERA. Using AI to warm up his tires. Ain't no cooling down. Depending on where he's at in tire temperatures, we'll run along with him now. Looks like George is now back in his seat. Frozen P5. Like I said, I definitely think Frozen probably will be able to get back out. Looks like George is bringing a bit of fuel. I definitely think some of them definitely underfueled. I probably wouldn't have. But yeah. Definitely interesting race so far to go here. The biggest move right now, I believe, is going right here. Sadly, your biggest loser currently is Kelman. Going right up in the 11 spots, Kelman down 9. Nando's only down 1 though. It's pretty good. Before he started, safety car is in this lap now. No side-by-side action, I believe. T. George will try to do his best to keep up with Chicken, but Chicken is pretty fast. Excuse you with a 10-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Not good. And Chicken now is on the gas. Chicken absolutely pulling away. Almost a 1 second gap already between George and Chicken. George kind of almost sounds like locking up the rears, or the tires at least. Chicken absolutely pulling away now, over a 1 second gap. George, you're cooked. You're not coming back from this. Squeezing the pits now to serve his 10-second time penalty. Right along with Frozen, now side by side with King Meeks. He gets past him, now sets his eyes on Morbach, whatever you want to say it. Sets his eyes on him. Mind you, he is up to P3 now. Oh, absolutely almost touching Frozen looks down the inside. He goes to Aquaman line. Morbreak has to give it to him. Meeks almost looks at Meeks almost trying to make a move. Nothing there. He closes the door and Meeks now gets past Morbreak. Morbreak got a little looser there. Morbreak now will have to catch George. George runs pretty widely here, which is not good. Chicken already a 1.7 gap, and Frozen already up to Q3 under a lap. It's safe to say Chicken is gone. Can Frozen catch up? George now currently P2. Oh, amazing run from Frozen, burning the battery. Will George maybe run him through? George gives him the leeway. George is to it side by side. Side by side. Frozen gets it done. George on the rear end. By looks of it now, Frozen just drives away. Chicken on the new fastest lap. Frozen the new fastest lap with a 153.2. Now I definitely think Frozen will be able to catch up to George. I mean, it's Chicken, but George, I think it'll just be left in the dust behind these guys. We will go back down to your P13, right along with Herbs. There's a pretty good long list of almost list of locomotive of his train behind him, pretty much all single file. Mind you, he started dead last, up 6 spots now. Chris now up 9. He's your biggest winner so far. Your biggest mover now up 10. Goalie Ray Goalie Ray now up to P11. I need with Y. These two are pretty much side by side. Y down the inside now. Pretty much these two are side by side. Goalie Ray gets pushed wide, so we're giving him a 3-second time penalty. And King Meeks, I believe, had another. I think King Meeks had a 3-second too. These two will pretty much follow single file right along with Bubba. We'll try to see if we can make any moves. Let's see if we can make any moves on Chris or Tom B. Jordan, or John. 3 seconds. Grab that. Yeah, Chris now up 10 spots. The biggest mover started 17th. Curbs now with a 3-second time penalty. FI is handing them out like it's free money. Frozen already has the gap down to less than to 5/10 now. If Frozen can get past Chicken, it might be safe to say, but he's got this one in the bag. It was never too early to assume he sets the new fastest lap as well. George is left absolutely behind in the dust, too slow to contend for P1 and 2. Meeks now is right behind George. He has a 3-second time penalty. If he can just get past and catch up with your front runners, he might be able to secure P3 and actually get on the podium. George runs a bit wide, maybe opens the door for him, slams, he says no thank you. Chris now up to P6, up 11 spots. Absolutely amazing stuff. Right along with me, George still ahead. He stays pretty close now. Made sure not to run wide. Really off to the follow here. Makes a better run than George. Oh, almost a bit of contact by the looks of it. No damage. But that sucks. He had an amazing run. Meeks now down the inside. Looks down the inside of George now. George stays on the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact. But anyway, a little bit of bump and run. Meeks gets through. Meeks gives it back to Violence, so maybe had either had an illegal overtake or just good sportsmanship from him. Anyway, he'll go back down to P4 though. Now Meeks absolute burning battery sifting from George. Meeks is in the little bit more right side of the track. George is on the drier line. George stays ahead. We go into the final 2 turns of 18 and 19. Meeks right on his bumper. No contact though. George will stay ahead, but Meeks absolutely right behind him. Brings a bit of battery down the inside. They'll go into turn one, side by side. They'll go. Make sure not to get too, making no contact. Looks like clean and green. Meeks squeezes through. Now Meeks has to cut down this 7-second gap. They're gonna pull 2 seconds on George. George just a little sideways up through there. Squeezy with 3 second time. But here comes George with the thrusters. But he has rockets attached to his car. He'll fly back up to P3 now. Over an 8-second, about an 8-second gap now between third and second. George all in the mail now. Chris now on right behind Holkey. As for P5. Chris moved up to P5 now. Gets past Holkey. Chris is absolutely on a move. The Rainmaster through here. We have Red Bull. Oh, End Guide on the V card. Spot out by the looks of it. We'll stay clean and green. So far, the Master of the Rain, Chris right now, on the hauling the mail. I think we had a Ferrari go off. I think that's Goyere. Still no safety car. Chris up to P5. He started P17. Now actually on the rear end, on the rear bumper of T George. Chris maybe tries to make a move. Nothing there yet. Stays right behind him. Will hopefully try to join Meeks and just power through and pull away from George. George is fast, but not fast enough for these guys. Chris with the slipstream, burning the battery. He goes to the inside, side by side. George stays ahead. Chris Foss will stay at P5. Don't count Holkey out yet. He's still there. Waiting for his opportunity for maybe these two to make a bit of contact and squeeze right through. Chicken now moves up to P1 now. Side by side, same with Chris. Chris gets past T George. Almost been a contact, a bit of a switch over. Nearly missing each other now. Holkey will have to try and get past. Chicken back up to P1. Looks like those two are trading spots once again. Now Chris and Meeks will have to try and pull away from George and hopefully try and close the gap to the leaders. Looks like they might still be pulling a bit of a gap on these two. We're right along with your leaders now. Right along with Frozen. Frozen with a 0.3 gap behind Chicken. These two absolutely fighting it out for your leads. This is for the championship right now. Frozen is in the lead. Down the inside, nothing there. They'll stay single file out of turns 18 and 19. Down the front stretch where we started our race. In turns 1 and 2, Frozen hugs the outside, set up for a good sweeping run. Just beautiful from these two drivers. Absolute amazing stuff. These guys, Frozen, started P2, fed back to P5, back up to P2 now. It'll be yellow sector 1, turn 1. Looks like no safety car, nobody's out. Oh, looks like one of the houses. No, I know that. Looks like Morbach went down. He was doing pretty good. I believe dropped back down to P10. I think he was up to P7 at one point. Meeks and Chris now trading spots. In not in the back for 3 and for the podium actually. The last step on the podium available right now. There's no mean to win, but these two being on the podium might as well just be a win. Already have about a 2-second gap to George now. Mind you, he wants P3. Tom D with a 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings. Slippery conditions does make it easier to get more track limits, but as you all know, but Meeks actually trying. Oh, ooh, big crowd. Looks like Meeks just lost the rear end of the car. No, lost an end plate. Nothing too bad, but nothing he wants to see. That will spoil his race. He was up to P3 King Herbs with a 3-second time penalty now. Not what you want to see at all. He was doing really good, fighting contention for that podium. But now it's all left up to Chris to close that 8-second gap. SRS with a time penalty. Looks like Herbs went off the track. Safety car. No VSC deployed. No safety car. It looks like Voldemort car over here. No front nose. He definitely left the box. Maybe he went off the track or tried to retire in a special way. Maybe some team orders from McLaren to have a safety car to come out. They close that gap for George to get back to try to get back to your points leader. Not pointing any fingers, just making guesses over here. But he will have to come in and just get a new wing, 14th and down pit for new tires and or wing damage. I think Meeks maybe did not box. Meeks did not box. He feels confident he can stay out on these conditions with that broken wing. Chad has to be, Chris has to be really careful not to lose too much time to George. Don't want them to catch up too much. But Chris, right now is faster than George. Rain's still coming down, very light though, but still not dry enough for slick tires. Although I would not be surprised. Green flag is back out. We are racing once again. Go back to this. Frozen now moves up to P1. Checking down to P2. These two are absolutely fighting it out for every last position. Meeks with another 3-second time zone. I believe that's 6 now. Meeks at 6, Tom D at 3, Goldie Ray at 3, SRS 6, John 3, Squeezy 3, and the Herbs is at 6. You look at everybody's tires, the people on the first tires is 15th and down in SRS. Otherwise, you're frozen on 9 lap old intermediates and chicken on 15 lap old intermediates. Looks like those new tires actually might be having a role in effect on the lead right now. Almost a 1-second gap between chicken and frozen. Mind you, Frozen had to box to get put a new wing on after trying to go to the inside or try to tuck in behind chicken. Over calculated too much, sent him into a wall. Over a second gap now. I believe those tires are faster than chicken's. Well, could we see chicken come into box, or will he just stay out and hope for their safety car? The yellow flag. Looks like for the Ferrari of Golray. Keeps it clean and green though. Frozen absolutely pulling away now, over 2 seconds now on that gap. As long as Frozen can hold on to it, I believe Chicken might have to stop for new tires, and if he does, with a safety car deployed, Curb spins out once again. Crashgate 2008 question mark? The two leaders are now in the pits now. John with a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. Top 3 in the pits. Top 4 in the pits. Top 5. 7th. King Meek stays out. Why the 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane? Looks like almost the whole grid is in for their stop now. Now these two drivers will on equal playing fields now. T. George into P5. Pretty much everyone has came in for a new set of tires. Either fix or repairs. Anyway, so rebunch everybody. Herb's in the pits getting a new brand new front wing on. That might pretty sure that will leave our safety car out for the full 3 laps. 17 laps down. 22 is our distance. 22 laps is what we have to do around here, folks. Chicken now back was in AI. Now your 2 leaders on brand new tires. Could we see this will really put equal cars? These guys are your fastest drivers. Comment goes up a spot. Possibly probably have to return the spot for overtaking our safety car. Or Tom D let him through, either or. If safety car will probably be in this lap. They were a 10-second time penalty. I think it's a collision actually. Looks like. Jordan, I believe, dropped back. Chat Chris up to P4. He's been pretty fast. Meeks back up to P3. Pretty much where we were before the safety car came out. Which is very nice. I do think these top 4 will be fighting. George's gonna get left behind the dust. He just does not have the pace. Hasn't had the pace to keep up with these guys. Also new tires. All new tires. We'll see what happens, but I don't know if George will keep up with these guys, or if there'll be a 15-second gap between George and the top 4. We'll see. Top 5 is not that bad, George. Yeah. Safety car, ooh, I believe will be in this lap now. Winning protocol has not been confirmed yet. But we can assume it will be. And the safety car is going to be out for another lap by the looks of it. One more full lap. I believe about 3 laps of racing. This almost gives Abu Dhabi flashbacks 2021. So the safety car will be in next time by, I believe. That'll be 3 laps completed. All the back markers have caught up. He'll have one more full lap of safety car. Herb's getting very lucky. He'll be able to get his tires heated up, burn fuel or save fuel depending on where he's at. Very lucky. We'll have 2 laps. Nope, 3 laps. 3 more times around. 2 more laps left after this. The top 4 will be a good race, I believe. This is what George can do. Ice cold, frozen over here. So I come frozen. Pulling the Kimi Räikkönen, the Iceman. The top 3, the Iceman. And the 3 Musketeers. The car will be in this lap. We have 2 laps. 2 laps of racing. Now down through Puan. And they will go. Puan is that sweeping left-hander. Right through here. If it's dry conditions and you have brand new softs, at least you can 100% take this turn flat out. With the right cylinder, of course. Thank you, EA. Beautiful game you made. EA is so lovely at making the game. Anyway, we will go. Safety car will be in this time by. Safety car's in this lap being the call very early, unlike last time. Not saying it was a late call, but it kind of was. Once we just past the timing and scoring line, we will be able to go racing. Everybody getting bunched up by the looks of it, almost coming to a complete stop in the back. I understand you want to give the safety car a bit of space. You know, the safety car space, but not the driver's space. As you see the driver, your leaders bobbing and weaving and warm up their tires as much as they can, get maximum performance out of them. Absolutely creeping along as slow as a snail. Chris absolutely ready to get on with it. Not going to waste any opportunity he has. The car is now in the pits. Now coming into the final turns, they'll go to turn 17 now. They're bobbing and weaving. Here they will come. T. George with a 10-second time penalty for colliding with Hulkenberg. That's what you get, George. You gotta learn how to drive. Can't be slowing down. And they're going. Frozen is now on the throttle. We have 2 laps of racing here. George keeping another 10-second penalty with collision with Hulky. There's 20 seconds now. 20 seconds for T. George, that's what you get for crashing into each other. Looks like John might have lost it a bit, falls all the way down to last. Your 2 leaders now frozen, chicken, absolutely fighting it out. You're pretty much stuck on these 2 the rest of the night. Ed got with a 3-second time penalty. George is pretty much finished dead last. Sadly. That's how it goes. Anyway, Frozen still ahead of Chicken. These two are pretty much side by side. George moves to P3. There's nothing he'll be able to do to win. He'll have to be, sadly, he'll finish P18 by the looks of it. Frozen, Chicken, your leader. Less than a 2.2 gap. Frozen up ahead. He's had a little bit of a rocky race, but he'll hold on to it. 7/10 faster than that's the fastest sector 2 we have right now. Concerning fastest lap while we're at it. Bubba in the back training with Meeks. Position 20, Meeks has that damaged front wing. And on the final last period, Meeks, Knight and T with a 3-second time penalty. Oh, geez Louise. Like, Frozen gonna do fastest lap. John with a 3-second time penalty. Looks like John spun out again. Chris moves up to P3 now, or technically now to P3. We'll get an eye of these guys side by side up through Rennie and through Eau Rouge. Chris sticks it and holds on to it. Chris will now just pretty much drive away. He has to hold on to this position to get P3. Can't let Bubba in the back get past him. Looks like unless anything big happens, his third place probably will go to Chris. Back on your leaders now. Okay. Back on your leaders now. Chicken right behind Frozen. Chicken has a lot of battery left over. Frozen in the 70s. Chicken in the 100s. Chicken technically has the upper hand advantage right now. Chicken Wing looks down the inside, nothing there. We are on your penultimate lap of your race. Frozen pretty much almost over half a second on Chicken now. Chicken now slowly catching 0.3 gap. Chicken down to 50%. Frozen now has the advantage. Herbs has retired from session. Looks like they probably crashed. And so he wanted to start in the back and avoid all the carnage. Not work out so much. These two leaders are side by side. You now go to your final lap of the race. Chicken now up to P1. Frozen side by side. Frozen moves down to P2 now. Chicken, Frozen. Chris, your top 3 right now. George for the 22nd. Looks like he'll probably be finishing 17th. Sadly. That's what you get what you get. Side by side now. Frozen down the camel stretch. Side by side. This is for your championship lead. Frozen actually moves ahead. These two are pretty much tied on battery. Nobody right now has the upper hand. Pretty much even between these two. Chicken a bit more battery than the other. Chicken looks down the inside. Frozen now up the inside. Chicken maybe now look down the inside. Try to get a good switchback. Nothing there. Looks like we have a Ferrari of going way off the track in Eau Rouge. That doesn't matter up here now. Your final lap has to go into Poulan. These two side, single file. Frozen right now. Your leader. Chicken with more battery. Chicken just hold on to this. You can use his ERS until a line to win. Pretty much single file, but Frozen is ahead of over 3 second lap. It's not completely over for Chicken. Not at all. Chicken burning all his battery. Frozen holding onto it. Now he starts burning. It's gonna be close to the line. We see any big moves from Chicken. Pretty much burning batteries out of battery. Side by side. Frozen goes up to the inside. We'll have side by side. Your leader to the line. Your spot. Welcome. your winner of the Spa 2024 F1 2024 Round 8 is Frozen Chicken Chris Bubba Knight NT Tom D. Ukenberg. We're gonna wait for everybody. There's a lot of time penalties. Looks of it, George finished P12. P12, just out of the points, sadly. Your top 5 was Frozen Chicken, Chris, Bubba, and Knight. Followed by Hokie, Kellerman, Nando's, Tom, Murbeck, Y, T. George, Scoozy, N. Guy, King Meeks, SRS, Goldie Ray, and John. Absolutely amazing battle between your top 2 drivers. Chicken sadly was not able to pull anything off to win. That will increase Frozen's gap on the constructors, not the constructors, the drivers' championship. Absolutely amazing. Your driver of the day is Chris, which I cannot agree with more. But he went up, I believe, started 17th, so almost like the whole grid basically. And your winner, Frozen. Absolutely amazing drive from him. Definitely. I think maybe if Chris maybe started up more a bit more, he maybe could have got a higher position, but these two guys are really fast. It sucks for George how he finished the 22nd time penalty, but we'll see what the stewards say. Maybe he'll get the 20 time penalty lifted, but who knows? Most unlikely for contact. Who's your race director? Everybody pretty much unintermutes the whole time. Everyone pretty much enters. Good racing by everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back hopefully I think next week for Las Vegas. Thank you all and good night.